Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today we have a Crackout challenge for you. Just a reminder, folks, that we do stuff here for fun and education, and this is a little bit more on the fun side, not necessarily, well, maybe we'll all learn something, but I don't necessarily recommend that you try a whole lot of cracking out and taking a stab at things like this. This is mostly for fun, but also, we'll learn something along the way. Starting with, I got some SEGS coins that we cracked out that were a little bit higher grade coins, and then we got a couple Rattlers that we cracked out and went ahead and sent them into NGC and see how they come back. Now, one of the things that I sent in first, though, was I had an 1877 Indian penny that PCGS said authenticity unverifiable. So we sent it into NGC, who said something different, but also still came back in what is affectionately known as a body bag. You know, this has acid straight down the center of it, and may always be a mystery coin here. Oops. 1877. So NGC said not encapsulated, altered surface. Once again, interesting label choice. They didn't say it's not real. Neither of them said it's not real, just said it's unverifiable. And they also didn't say it's real, they said altered surface. Altered surface, to me, of course, they mean that something happened to the surface. You know, I always think of altered as being intentional, but, you know, maybe it's intentional, maybe it's not. Well, maybe I can find an expert who can say, hey, this is definitely a counterfeit because of X, Y, and Z. But the whole coin is pitted, and it looks like it was buried for a while. So let's get on with the show as scheduled. Here is an 1885-0 that SEGS had called MS67. And I get lots of people who ask me about SEGS. Should I send my coins into SEGS? And generally my answer is, you know, that's not really a good use of your money, but we'll send this coin off and just see how it would grade on any given day at NGC with a common date, 85-0. Really lovely coin. And generally speaking, I tell people that SEGS is off by at least 2 points. When it comes to this type of coin, I mean, maybe it's not 2 grading points when you're talking about very fine to extra fine coins. But on Mint State Morgans, I've had almost no, or I have had no Mint State Morgans at a high grade, gem grade, crossover, or make the grade. Nice coin, MS65, nothing wrong with that. Here we got an old Rattler that was a 99.0 and an MS65 holder. And once again, you have a coin that's really nice and clean in original fields. And you got a couple little spots on it, but overall, not too shabby. A couple little extra marks there. But you can see on this clear view from a distance how nice it looks. So the Rattler was a 5. The new grade is still a 5. Now, once again, folks, this is just for fun. Don't tell me how much money anything cost here. It's not your money. Don't worry about it, right? All right. Actually, most of you guys actually ask me for these types of videos, so I'm happy to oblige. So here's a 78S, 65 PL. Now, this one I found pretty intriguing because I thought the coin was really quite nice, actually. And, you know, I also thought that the coin was proof-like on both sides. It gets a little bit, like at this angle, you start to lose just a touch of the PL. But of course, at the sharp angle here, you get the proof-like finish. On this side, you really get, I think, the PL at every angle. So the obverse at a minimum is PL, and then it's a matter of whether or not they're going to call the reverse proof-like, and whether or not the coin can get to 5. You got some little bit heavier marks on the cheek this time. The field's really good though. The hard thing on most Morgans is, you know, if you get that proof-like field, watch out. Those things come just messed up. The more proof-like a field is, the more that those little hits and nicks stand out. MS64, so this one's interesting. I would probably argue that they should have at least given it a star. That's kind of, for me, anytime, if you're going to use the star designation, take a coin that really looks proof-like, but might not quite meet the technical standards, and you give it that star. But there are no stars upon theirs. That one did not pan out. Next up, we have an 81S in 64. And this one has a very subdued look to it. But the reverse has just a little bit of that tone on it. And of course, 81Ss are harder to get higher grades on anyways, because generally the grading companies are pretty tough on these guys. A little bit of a haze to it. Cheek is really clean, right? And then you've got this little bit bigger snail trail moving in front. That's a technical term. Nice slow line up front. Overall, though, this really what this coin looks like it needs is a little bit of help. I mean, you just wonder how much that line is going to pop up if you were able to remove just a little bit of that toning to this coin, because the coin actually shows really nice. 64 to 64. So there's a few lessons in here. One, not all coins are verifiable by the grading companies, right? Which is unfortunate. I mean, if it's too far gone, I get it. I'm not gonna blame. That's okay. That's okay. The other thing here is that these 64s, these Rattlers. Here's my lesson. These Rattlers here, you know, they don't always come back and grade higher. That's like a lesson, even if they're nice. And of course, the other takeaway is, you know, your SEGS holders, you're going to want to make sure that you're not paying full retail for coins and SEGS holders, because it's just not going to end well for you. I've yet to get a SEGS coin in a high grade, a gem grade, back in a gem grade. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.